I wanted to also ask, just during this whole like pandemic and everything, how are you finding just everything, the way 2020 has gone? Because a lot of my friends have told me 2020 is cancelled already. Like this
Yep.
year's cancelled completely.
I've heard that a lot. And initially I was the same. I was like, oh, this year is screwed. Like, forget it.
Mm,
But I think I'm the type of person where I can't remember who I had to chat with. It was like 10 years ago. And me and my friend were sitting there and it's like, only worry about the things you can control. Like anything that's out of your control, be it like political, economic, or of course in this circumstance, a pandemic. If you can't control it, you can't worry about it. And ever since I learned that as a kid, I've always tried to adjust to the new normal. And in this
mm,
circumstance, of
mm,
course, the new normal is staying inside all the time. So
yeah.
me personally, I'm not affected by it because I feel like if it was just me, like if everyone with a last name Ebert Kelman had coronavirus and everyone else was fine, that would be a problem because I'd be like, for flip's sake, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
But
But
because
yeah.
it's a thing where everyone's held back, like there's no real winners and losers here apart from like,
No.
these pharmaceutical companies, but that's a different discussion. So I don't know. I'm not
Uh,
really hurt by it because as long as I'm doing, as long as I'm doing my bit, I know that when this is all over, I'm going to be, you know, I'm not falling backwards. As long as I'm still going forward, be it half the speed it was beforehand, it's not that deep.
no, I don't know. It's not. And I think as well, like what you said, just into the new normal and being able to just be adaptable, always be on your toes. I think it's important because a lot of people are really under the impression that this new normal is going to last them a very long time. But I don't know how long it will last you, but at some point things will change and you have to be ready for that. But it involves you kind of embracing what is happening now. You know, for some people, they might not have the most stable home or the most ideal living situation, but it's
Mm,
really about trying to make the most of that, or positioning yourself to be somewhere where you can make the most of that. You know, whether that's at a friend's house or whether that's by yourself or with somebody that you trust, or even if it's at home, really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good point. I'm happy you mentioned that as well about, being in a stable home because I was having a conversation with a girl the other day and she was straight up like, not everyone can just chill at home. Some people are going through like, she mentioned how the domestic violence number cases has like shot up recently.
Yeah,
And
it spikes up, man.
yeah, it's deep to realize that, you know, obviously we're safe at home most of the time, but some people really haven't got that it's not the same for other people. And that's a tough one. Like I don't know how to answer that. I've never really felt in danger. But
Mm.
yeah, again, it's like this is the one time we kind of get in life where everything's on pause. Like a lot of my friends would be like, "Oh, I hate going to work. I'd rather just stay at home do nothing. Or uni's long. I'd rather just play FIFA." And it's like now you actually can just not go to work and play FIFA. So why are you still
Yeah.
complaining?
People will never be happy. People will
Literally, yeah.
never be happy. It's for the longest time we've wanted the world to stop spinning. Now the world has stopped spinning, stop tilting on its axis. Like, what are we doing?
Mm,
You
mm.
know, some people are rebelling, others are really finding it hard to adjust. And I was speaking to my brother the other day, actually. Uh, he works in the city and he was telling me, some of his colleagues are really finding it hard to adjust because you tend to find a lot of people, um, that pattern of work, that pattern of what they used to, they actually use it as a means to kind of escape from what their current situation is back home, or they kind of use it to sort of distract themselves and keep themselves as busy as possible to not have to face up to certain realities. But now, you're not working, you have to kind of face up to that reality and you have to go through it. And that is hard for a lot of people. And it really sucks because I can't personally speak for that. And a lot of people as well, like, to them, to me anyway, home is home. Like, I love it. But to a lot of people, home is hell,
Yeah.
essentially. So they kind of have to be through that. And it's like, you're in purgatory. Um, yeah. What can you say to that though? Like, it's so difficult. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, honestly, like my answer to her, because obviously she was fine, she's not going through anything, but I was like, this is the time in any circumstance where you can deep your situation, because
Mm,
be it like work stressful or like your home is crazy, at least now you kind of know for sure and you can build towards fixing that once this is all over. But
mm,
then, you kind of go back into the question of what if it's never over? How long is it going to be? And I don't know. It's a tough one. But fundamentally, I think this is the time to figure things out because if you come out of this and you still don't know what you're doing, or at least have a plan of action to figure it out later, then like it's tight.
yeah, it's peak out here, man. It's peak out here. I think just trying to re-strategize and trying to think things through again and have not it doesn't necessarily have to be a plan B, but just being able to try and be adaptable, and just make the most of your situation. Because God forbid, and I'd hope it didn't happen, but if my grad role got taken away tomorrow, like I'd have to find something to do. I'd have to find a way to kind of readjust to life, after university, and just find a way to make my situation okay for me. Um,
Mm, mm.
but I think for a lot of people, it 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 really forces you to sit down and just plan out your life. And we're not when it comes to planning out like our life and stuff, like we love doing it, but we love doing it when, our life is in action and full flow. But when, the ball stops rolling, um, and, we have to be behind the ball and just kind of figure out where and plan the trajectory of where it's going to go next, all of a sudden it gets difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. I don't
Really
know.
hard.
I find it
Who
hard
knows?
to I find it hard to give advice on this because my mindset's always positive, and it's
Mm,
like for no matter what happens in life, as long as I don't like die tomorrow,
mm,
I'm always gonna find a solution, or at least I hope so.
yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm very similar to that. But I also know a lot of people that they find it hard to really be positive at all, and find positivity in anything. Um, and it's hard because you wanna help them, um, and you want to speak from your own experience, but at the same time, you do not want to come across as insensitive, or you don't want to come across as, seeming to invalidate what they're going through.
mm,
So it's
mm.
just, it's super difficult, um, super, super difficult. And I guess it's just like, you almost kind of have to leave people to their own devices in a way, because in this life, they will figure things out. Like we all have to figure things out on our ones, on our J's eventually. Um,
Mm.
yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I think I'm probably more scared about what happens afterwards because things like recession we mentioned like like people I've heard people talking about how you can like refer or defer your credit card loans and your like mortgage and stuff like that. Like these debts aren't disappearing, but
no.
unemployment's still climbing. And people that are sad, they're not just gonna, oh, lockdown's over, I'm happy now. Like these things aren't gonna go away. Like things are paused, but they are going to restart in every sense. And I think I'm more scared about what happens afterwards. Like how are we gonna find jobs? How are people that realize their homes are bad, how are they going to deal with those problems? Or people that lost their grad schemes, how are they going to, find new jobs? And these things are probably the most scary to me, as opposed to the lockdown itself.
Oh, I agree. I agree, because it's the aftermath of that, and like you have to kind of face up to that reality. Because right now this is your new normal, but then afterwards, when everything else starts, you have to find another new normal, and you have to
Mm,
just always be readjusting. Be um why can't things be constant, be stable? And it's really difficult, because right now think this is probably the most uncertain things have been, ever. If I can go out on a limb and say that in my lifetime anyway, most uncertain, things have been, um for people around me in particular, not me. I'm not speaking about myself, um,
mm,
because I think I've seen firsthand that some people, like, they lose their roles, and then they have to kind of take out they have to take out time to figure out what they're doing next. Other people will kind of be very proactive and say, hey, I've lost my role. You know what? Let me go and apply for this master's. Let me enroll in this course and whatnot. But even then, it's just like, if this role is not certain, is this next path that I'm going to take certain? What am I going to do when this is all over? And a lot of people, it's hitting them hard, man. Like, I think it's hit everybody hard in some way, shape or form, but some harder than others. And I think when it comes to the virus and everything, I don't really think about, when it comes to social distancing, why it's so big at that, I don't really think about um, why I need to do it, regarding health and safety issues and whatnot, but
Mm.
just trying to think about what people will be going through mentally, and just trying to be sensitive to that, because I don't know if you lose your job or whatnot, because this whole thing, is going to piss you off if you're outside of your window, boarded up in your home, um, where rent is an issue, and you're seeing, people gallivanting in the street and walking around, in crop tops or whatever, and when the sun's out, acting as if, this is a whole holiday, or acting as if it's spring break.
Mm.
Yeah. You have to be sensitive to these things because you don't know what people are going through. And I guess I'm just trying to always think of other people in a way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
I think I'd flip that around though, just to play devil's advocate and
Mm,
say like some people, like I know one of my friends, her dad passed away because of COVID, and
mm.
they would always go like somewhere, they'd always go out in like Regent Street or something, or just to chill.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was very much like, I mean, she didn't go, but I was very much like, if it were me, I would just go. I mean, it's a small fine, and like I'm going through something, you kind of want to, you want to grieve in your own way, right? And I
Yeah.
guess it's tight because I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you completely that you got to be aware that some people are losing their houses and stuff like that. But then I wonder what, because obviously some people are just going out to enjoy the sun, but I wonder what's really going on behind the short shorts and sunscreen.
Mm, it's true. I mean, like we said, you don't really know what people are going through on the other side. So it's just like maybe maybe them going out in this time is going to be their therapy.
Mm,
Um, but I guess maybe as well, the same way that I would, if I had lost my job and whatnot, the same way that I would expect those people outside to be sensitive to what I'm going through, maybe I have to look at myself and be sensitive to what they're going through and think, okay, the grass is not always greener. I don't think they generally go about with a care in a, like without a care in the world and feel like, okay, everything is fine. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really
mm.
speak for any other cities, but it's London. Like, everyone is always has a million and one things on their mind. I don't think anyone's going to be walking out into the street, at least from what I've seen anyway, or if it was me, I don't think I'd be walking out into the street having like not a care in the world and feeling like I can just go anywhere. I feel as free as a daisy. Like, there's always going to be things on my mind and things that I need to cross check when I get back from my journey.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's crazy. Because like I remember when my mum had cancer, what 6 years ago, 7 years ago now,
Oh wow.
and she met a girl in hospital who also had cancer, of course, and I was talking to her, that mum's friend, and she started smoking when they both got out. And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
you've just gone through like the worst thing imaginable. Why are you smoking? I think it's so much worse. And then she goes, I've been good my whole life. I've never done anything wrong. I've never stepped out of line. And then I reach 40 or 30, whatever, and I get given cancer. And I'm like, well, right. Like, how can I respond to that? If you're in a situation, if you're in a position where you've been, so-called quote unquote perfect your whole life and then the dice is rolled and you just get bad luck, I can completely understand how you'd want to smoke there. I wouldn't personally, and I think she's
Yeah.
dumb. And I feel bad for saying it because she actually passed 2 years ago.
Ah, rest in
And
peace.
in my head, it's like, I mean, why did you smoke? But then I don't know. It's very crazy. And yeah, man, I,
Well,
I I can't. I struggle to judge people now because I'm just scared that you never know what's going on.
well, I don't think, I think it's something that I've learned as well. I think I used to hear it a lot where you say you can never judge a book by its cover, but you really can't, because you really do not know what they're going through, what hand they've been dealt in life. Because if life were simple, like, you could boss people around, you could tell them not to do shit, and they would actually listen to you. But, people go through stuff, and you never really know how, they're going to respond to it, because if everybody knew the hand that they were going to be dealt in life, like, we'd all be able to be proactive, and we'd all be able to say, all right, this is going to happen to me in 5 years time, or I'm going to die in 10 years time. So I need to start planning for my future. I need to start doing this, doing that, da, 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 da. But I think in life, like, you're always on your toes. So I think when things like that happen and they hit you as hard as it does, you kind of lose that sort of restraint in a way. Not restraint as in like go crazy, but that restraint where you always need to be stringent with things, and you always need to kind of, be good, or at least be ahead of the curve, because I think when these things happen at the end of the day, you realize it's your life. So you really have to choose how you live it. And you realize more and more when you go through these things, people's opinions start to matter a lot less as you get older. I think I've noticed it.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.